This teen took on a $10 trillion industry. We might all be healthier because of him. That's the headline of a new guest essay by Julia Bellas in the New York Times opinion section. Bellas, who covers health, nutrition, and chronic illness, tells the story of Bryce Martinez. When Bryce was 16, he felt an aching around his heart. He thought it might be an asthma attack. But at the school nurse's office, his blood pressure was so high he was rushed to the emergency room. There, doctors diagnosed him with type 2 diabetes and fatty liver disease. At 16. Those are conditions we used to associate with middle age, not high school. Bryce's story is a window into a much larger crisis. The essay traces how ultra-processed foods, engineered to be hyper-palatable, cheap and everywhere, have reshaped what kids eat, and what their bodies have to endure. The industry behind those foods is valued at roughly $10 trillion. That's trillion with a T. And it spends billions on marketing, much of it aimed directly at children and teenagers. Bryce didn't just accept his diagnosis. He started asking questions. He changed his diet, cutting out the ultra-processed products that filled his school cafeteria and his neighborhood stores. He began advocating for better food in schools, testifying before lawmakers and pushing for policy changes that would make real food more accessible to kids like him. Bellas uses Bryce's journey to illustrate a point that researchers have been making for years: the food environment is not neutral. It is designed, aggressively, to maximize consumption of products that carry high margins but low nutritional value. The consequences show up in pediatric clinics across the country: rising rates of type 2 diabetes, hypertension, fatty liver disease in children. These are not inevitable. They are the result of policy choices, corporate strategies, and a food system that treats health as an externality. The essay doesn't pretend one teenager can dismantle a $10 trillion industry. But it argues that stories like Bryce's matter because they make the abstract concrete. They show what the numbers look like in a human life. And they remind us that change often starts with someone refusing to accept the status quo. Bryce is now in college. He's still speaking out. And he's proof that the fight for a healthier food system isn't just about policy, it's about the kids those policies are failing. Thanks for listening. I'm your host, and we'll be back tomorrow with more.